All right. What? Oh, it's gonna be like that. I'm starting a podcast. Like, what the fuck?
Inquisitive minds want to
Yeah, what
know.
the hell? All I said was all right. Shit.
Oh man.
Episode 7. All right, yeah. So,
Nigga, oh yeah. Is it? Is it episode 7?
yeah, because we had a week off unintentionally. We had a week off to get some stuff taken care of, transition some stuff, and
Under new management.
basically new landlord. You know what I'm
understand
saying?
me.
New real estate. But that's what life is about. New real estate.
Yeah, we moving up in though, man. You ain't gonna hear no beeps and shit in here today.
Oh,
Fix the smoke. We got the fixed smoke detector in this spot right here. Moving on up like George
I'm
Jefferson.
saying. So for all the people who kept taking shots, because I heard y'all about smoke detector. Yeah. Say something now. But yeah, Much Ado About Everything podcast, episode 7. I'm Zaire. What's happening? Ziggy Hollywave on Instagram, Bossable Beats. Follow Bossable Beats on Instagram because I'm really about to be putting some fire up there. And I need not only need you guys' support, I would like your support. And I think if you really, really like just hearing dope music, there should be no conflict of interest unless you hating. But anyways, here with my best friend, J5.
Johnny Hines, _2shoes_ on Instagram. Follow Will to Win Athletics as well on Instagram. It's a mentor youth athletic performance training business. Black owned. Not that should matter, but to some people it should. If you see somebody in your community looking like you. But
yeah,
also on the lines of what Zaire was talking about, Wavy Instrumentals out right now, man. Stream that on all platforms, yes, man.
But yeah, like slap Wave Instrumentals Volume 1.
I got a lot of heat on that. He got a lot of heat on that
volume,
EP, but I suggest Lighter Thieves, my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, Lighter Thieves is a killer. Yeah. And you should all enjoy it even if you don't smoke. Yeah, just check it out. So we took a week off and we're transitional stuff. You back in school, teaching. How's that been your first week?
It's interesting. I've been running into a lot of issues in the sense of kids, believe it or not, they're very tech savvy when it comes to cell phones, but they don't know shit when it comes to computers. So it's been a tough transition for a lot of kids to first off get situated, get the Wi-Fi working, download these softwares, download these apps. It's been a transitional period and a whole process for everybody. So administration, teachers, parents, man, because you got a lot of parents that's still at home. They're trying to work from home and then they're trying to make sure their kids are situated for school. So it's a lot of stuff going on where it's a lot of things that factor in that are right now entering our second week. We're still trying to get under control. We're still trying to get kids to actually log in to come to school. Dang. Which is interesting because we don't have to physically be in school. So all you gotta do is wake your ass out of bed and roll over and get to your computer.
Right.
Damn near don't gotta brush your teeth. Nobody can smell your breath through the mic. But
which is
you feel me? That's a good thing because that's probably gonna be a killer right there. But yeah, we got kids that's not even able to log on. So it's like we also got to remember that everybody's situation is different. So we can't automatically assume that every kid has internet. Right. We can't automatically assume that every kid has power in their house at this time. Right. So there's a lot of things that are factor in, and we don't always know the well-being of what's going on in the state of the situation at their home. So I don't know, maybe they're in an abusive relationship and their parents don't want to let them have internet access to have the camera be in their home to see what they're doing or how they're getting treated or how they're looking or whatever. I don't know.
So there's a lot
of outsiders can't account for.
Yeah.
So it's like but for the kids that are coming to my class, I'm trying to make it as lively as possible because the kids are like, I'm bored, I'm sitting in front of it. Like it is. It's a whole different demeanor. And I'm a PE teacher, so I'm trying to teach physical education through a laptop.
Yeah,
and then
tough.
And then I'm going to actually like trying to employ them and suggest that they like motivate them to get up and move. Like, motherfucker, like, hey, bro, I'm still in bed, bro. Like, I'm doing class from bed. I ain't finna get up and do no jumping jacks. So it's like,
right.
it's a whole different process that we have to
That's
just
crazy.
consider. And at this point, I'm really just trying to just check in, do wellness checks, make sure the kids are all right, make sure they're getting treated right, make sure they're good. So we always make sure the kids are having their cameras on so we can see them, so we can see their environment, what's going on. So that's really right now in the first couple of weeks, that's basically what we're focusing on. So that process has been different, but for me, it's easy. I get to make motherfuckers come to the computer and I can just talk to them. They got to listen to me.
Right.
So it's an easy process for me, but I probably had to be more innovative as a teacher than I ever have been because I have to come up with all these lesson plans to keep them engaged into the computer for an hour.
Man.
So that's the toughest process and thing that I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah. So personally, that, and then there's all these wildfires that we've been dealing with even the last 2 weeks, and today waking up was many.
Yeah, ash everywhere, golden skies, man. Hope y'all prayed up out there, man.
Right.
Hope y'all got y'all self right with the Lord, man. Cause
look like he coming back.
It's looking a little biblical out here these days. You feel me? We got viruses and plagues and all this other stuff. So I hope y'all situated, man, and y'all got y'all affairs in order. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and so yeah, getting up this morning, it was crazy because I got up late. And I thought it was still early. I'm thinking it was like 6 in the morning, and it was maybe like 11, and it was dark. And like,
nigga, you got up at 11?
Low key.
Get your sleepy ass up.
Well, I got up and then I took a nap. I was up. I was working. I was in the lab.
You went to the bathroom and went back to sleep. Nigga talking about I was up and then I went back to sleep. you was still asleep.
But I'm saying, like, it just was. It I don't know. I felt
it felt
like
different.
Something bad. I felt like an eclipse or something, or
I
didn't know what was going on. I'm thinking like, all right, let me just close the blinds or something. Because if it's like a flash that go off or something, I for sure don't want to get caught up in that.
This morning was definitely different, like you said, to be, for 7:30, 7 o'clock for it to still be that dark.
Yeah,
that was a little different. You can say, okay, daylight savings is leaving, so but it's like that was crazy for it to be that dark at that time.
It was freaky.
And then, like I said, for the weather to still be cool outside, like it's not hot. It doesn't feel like humid. It was actually pretty cool.
It cooled down a lot.
Compared to yesterday.
Night, right.
But like I said, speaking about these fires, man, I just want to give my thoughts and prayers out to everyone on the West Coast, anyone that's affected by this, all the first responders, all the firefighters out there fighting these fires, sacrificing their time and they're putting their lives on the line to protect us, to keep us safe, man. So it's like right now is very tough for a lot of people. And my college town right now is on fire in Ashland, Oregon, all the way from Ashland to Medford. This is also a very personal place for me. I spent the last 8 years of my life there, and my 2 youngest brothers are there. They also had to vacate this morning because of potential wildfires, and the way the wind was, whipping around. So there's a lot of people that lost their homes today. So today is a great time to reflect on being appreciative and grateful for the situations and the circumstances we are in, because I know some of you guys' situation may seem dire, but there are a lot of situations out there in this world where they're a lot worse off than you. And on your worst day is their best day. So you got to understand, we got to be grateful and be mindful about our situations and just love on the people next to you, because unlike the corona and like just regular things that's happening in life, we can be here one day and go on the next. So just love on the people while they're here, give their appreciation while they're here, give them their flowers while they're here, man, because you never know the way our world is going to these days. You just never know. So appreciate people while they're here, and just take advantage of your situation and just loving where you are in life, and be grateful for where you are in life.
And thank you to all the first responders out there, all the firefighters who are actively, trying to get this under control. I know it's been a rough month almost now, just with the fires all across, different spots, on the West Coast. California did just pass a new law that will allow ex-cons to be firefighters now, like the ones that they use in prison, can now, if they're released from prison, can now also join and be firefighters. So that's cool.
I seen that, but did they break down like are they going to get firefighter wages?
I would hope so. I don't know the ins and outs of that in particular, but yeah, I would hope so. If they're risking their lives just like any other regular citizen, they should be compensated the same. I don't think that should count against them. They're putting their life on the line to save others. I mean, there should be no discount for that.
Yeah, that's debatable. We live in America.
gets discounted all the
time. Right. But yeah, like I said, we're hopeful. We're optimistic that that's not the case.
Right.
So,
all right, this might like throw everybody off. But did you play the new Madden?
Of course. This is annual situation for me. I buy every single Madden, and niggas say it's the same game. That's cool because I like playing the same game. This is the only game I play. I play Madden and I play Call of Duty, and sometimes I get 2K like when it's like halfway to the new one. But it's huge. I've been playing Madden since '92 on Sega. And I've been going to Zaire's house and playing his brother, and
we've been on Madden for a minute
for years, and it's huge now because now we got like a big thing because Madden is like the new game is out right now, but then like Zaire's little brother, Simba, and my little cousin is now on the game. And, you know, we have a couple family members actually on the game. We got Simba Webster and we have Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
So there's some people we know that we grew up with in real life, you know, that we seen grow up from young men to grown men now, and they're on a video game. So that always makes it cool because last year Simba and Joe was on the game, but Simba last year as an undrafted free agent didn't have a picture.
Yeah.
So they didn't know that was him. We knew that was the name and we knew the number, but we never got to actually see his face. So it's actually pretty cool. All them years of watching all these people, on the game and then having like that dream to be on the game, and now he's on the game, so that's actually pretty cool. And then I shout out to Tywan Jones as well for the Buffalo Bills. He's on the game as well too.
07, what's happening? But yeah, as far as Madden, yeah, obviously that's an annual thing. I know it's a lot of people who have been complaining. About I don't know if there's changes or
there's
whatever,
fake shit in every. It's a video game, bro. That shit ain't flawless. It happens every year, bro. Like, you're going to have to deal with it, bro. Even me, I forget that it's a video game and I get pissed off and I yell at the screen, but understand it's a video game. And some people say, for me, it's a release. But even though I get so mad sometimes because people are like, it's just a video game. And it's like, nigga, no, it's the principle. Nigga, I'm still a competitor. I want to win. I don't care if I'm doing hopscotch. Nigga, I want to win. That's just what it is.
Cheating.
But
cheating.
Yeah, that's just the reality of it. But this nigga Zaire been playing Madden offline for years, and we have connected online franchises, and his ass want to play by his damn self.
Y'all be moving too fast, bro. They be playing they be simulating like 3 weeks in a day.
That is symbolic of who Zaire is. He always goes at his own pace, and he does what he wants to do when he wants to do it. Not in a rebellious way, but just in like he just catches his own wave. It always been that way. Shout out to Wavy Instrumentals.
And they adding Cap back to the game as a free agent.
That's huge. But nigga, that's also the same person. Madden, you can't like you said, it's a sorry but not sorry situation. Because even last year they had the situation where Big Sean was on the song and he was rapping and they took the Kaepernick part out. Like you went out of your way to take his damn name out of the song.
Right.
Like and Big Sean had a big problem with it. Now you want to try to fluff us up because Black Lives Matter. Y'all want to try to get that vote
because it's cool now. Because it's
so then you put him back in the game as a free agent, and then with the highest rated free agent, like bro, y'all pushing it right now, bro. I'm gonna still play the game because I like to play the shit.
Yeah.
But it is. There's no we peep game, bro.
It does feel like fluff. It feels like fluff, and it feels like
they be doing some hot shit, bro. And people do it all the time. Everybody does it when you slip up and you go, "Oh shit, I said something racist. Let me take that shit back and let me try to hide my actions." Like your actions still your actions, bro.
Right.
So you got to eat that. You got to live with that.
Right.
I can play Madden with a clear conscience every time because I'm not tripping on shit like that. But it's like you just understand how you move. We're still consumers until we get to a position where, as black men or people that of color or anybody that's different outside of these big corporations create something that's for us, then we'll be good.
Yeah.
So y'all need to hurry up and bring back Def Jam Vendetta because I want to play that shit. Also in the streets, we read the headline. Trump is in the news again. He's talking about Trump is talking about banning diversity training, which is very interesting because he doesn't feel like we need it and he believes that it's propaganda. Uh, Z, what do you think about this?
Yeah, banning diversity in federal agencies. And I guess the reasoning of them is that it's anti-American. It being anti-American, I don't understand what exactly is anti-American in that sense,
Yeah.
because America is supposed to be a diverse place. It's supposed to be a melting pot.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to take away diversity training for that particular reason, I don't necessarily understand what that has to do with being anti-American. The propaganda as well. Like what exactly when the Trump administration says it's propaganda, what exactly do they mean? Propaganda is usually aimed for a particular purpose, or it's actually giving a particular message. So diversity training, what message is that sending that is propaganda? Like,
Yeah.
so for me, that doesn't necessarily make sense.
I don't think he chose the right word with that.
Yeah. And I think maybe because I think it opens a bigger, broad question though, is diversity training even effective? Because as long as we've had diversity training, we still have a lot of these problems in terms of
You have a lot of HR
race.
cases and stuff. So who's actually creating these these diversity trainings? Is it white people creating white laws in regards to how you should handle different color people, or is it actually a panel of different people like
Right,
Hispanics, Asians,
right, right,
blacks, all on one panel coming
right.
up with diversity training? Because if it's not that, then we're already fucked from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you're kind of structured a system for people that don't look like you.
Right.
So that's ass backwards, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That's what we're dealing with now in our overall structure of America.
Right.
No,
And yeah, so it actually leaves me with more questions than
yeah,
than more like the actual commentary on the topic, because
mm-hmm.
uh yeah, I just under like what's anti-American about learning about different cultures and people coming from different backgrounds, unless you're saying that diversity training doesn't serve that purpose.
I think when you just don't know what to say like he do, you'll just spill out any rhetoric you can. So it's like the first thing out of his mouth was quick to call Colin Kaepernick anti-American because he's kneeling
Right.
during the national anthem. But like we were talking about earlier, me and Tia, that's one of the most American things you can do. And they
Right.
actually said it because a Green Beret showed him the way how to protest silently, respectfully, and
Without disrespecting the flag.
exactly.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's never been about the flag, but because he's doing it during that time, it's sacred to some people. I still tell you to this day, there's a lot of people that's full of shit about the flag because when that national anthem comes on in all these different places, when your ass is at home now that we're all going to have to be, I want to make sure that you're please videotape yourself standing right next to your damn lazy boy in your sofa with your hand over your heart and your hat off your head instead of your hand on your nuts scratching while the game is on.
Yeah.
Because I want you to make sure you keep that same energy in private as you do in public. That's all I'm saying. So if you're gonna be a proud American and you believe that that's a real American when you're putting your hand over your heart and you're standing for national anthem, stand for national anthem when you're at home in your own in your robe.
Right.
Just make sure you keep that same energy. So, like I said, I have no problem with standing for the flag and any of that. We're not going to get into that part, but it just like make sure everybody keeps the same America. I just feel like he throws around that word anti-American so loosely
yeah.
and not really even understand what it means.
Yeah.
So he needs to be mindful about how
or it could just mean like anything that goes against what
he believes.
Or what the majority of white Americans believe.
Yeah.
It all of a sudden
That's
becomes
1,000% what he's talking
Yeah.
about. But then
Yeah.
that's not America then, because you have more than white Americans in America.
Right. So
So-
yeah, it just like I said, it just gives
Yeah.
me more questions, and then my head
Mhm.
kind of explodes, and then I get tired. So,
Yeah, we're gonna push it forward on something a little bit more righteous and pure. Unfortunately, we also in this past week we missed a very monumental situation and event that happened, and that's the passing of Chadwick Boseman, who's a very very prestigious black actor. And he's more known for some of his most iconic roles, such as Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall, and for a lot of us, the first black superhero being Black Panther. But obviously, we grew up early in the '80s, so we still believe that Blake technically was the first black hero, but I guess they're not calling him a superhero. But anyway, Chadwick Boseman passed away from cancer at 43 years old. So this is one of them situations that hit home, man, because I feel like at his age and his trajectory or what he was doing in our world, not just the entertainment world, but just the way he was leaving his imprint in every interview,
right?
In every talk,
right?
Every situation that he had to be himself, he standed up and he standed out in multiple ways, and he kind of has that effect a little bit like in the movie industry, as like what Nipsey did with music, because like everybody felt that, everybody cried, like I never met him a day in my life,
like his status,
like I never met him a day in my life, but I felt that when he passed away, and I just couldn't believe that shit because we were losing another like very, very talented young black man and somebody to look up to be proud of,
right?
And more inspiration, so it's like that was tough to take, man. And Becca was laughing at me a little bit because we just, for the hell of it, man, we just kept like watching different movies. We watched 21 Bridges. We watched A Message from the King. We watched Black Panther multiple times. But then last time I watched it, and it showed that last moment of him talking to the kid in Oakland. And he was telling him like, who are you? And he just seen him have that chin up moment. And he was about to say Black Panther. Then it went to credits. And then that just hit me like, that's the last time we're going to see him. So that was like so powerful to me, to the point where my eyes watered and a teardrop. Cause it's like, she's like, dang, you getting real. I was like, bro, he meant a lot. To a lot of people. He was
really that figure. And just in a, not just, it wasn't just, first of all, he didn't just affect black people.
Yes.
Him being in that position, he touched many of different people, different cultures, different races. He was so important to black people in that sense because he pulled off these roles with he like flawlessly, really. His skill to portray these really prominent figures was just uncanny. I don't think we've really seen that from one actor. I don't know if, I mean, Denzel,
Denzel, you got Will Smith, Jamie Foxx. So it's a few, but it's
a select few. But usually, like, it's really only one role they get with those. He had what, 4? You know what I'm saying? He was Thurgood Marshall. He was in James Brown. When I did some like researching when he's alive, not after he passed, but when I had become more familiar with who he was and just learning his story. And how he came out of Howard, and Denzel paid for his acting classes, and he was one of the top students. And then you see his interviews and him speaking, and he's always speaking about life and encouragement and being just a positive light for a lot of people.
Right.
And then you have him being Black Panther, which in comics is the first black superhero, and that movie being with the whole main cast black actors and him being the top of that, him being like the king, it kind of made him like our king. It was like an event, like a coronation event, you know what I'm saying? But his importance to us as a people was just him being that symbol, about that symbol and being a light for grace. And for me, it was really just his artistry, the fact that he can zone into a character and just be somebody else completely. It inspired me just watching him, like the Jackie Robinson, that movie definitely inspired me a lot with my art and how I approach just creating. And it just let me know that you really, really have to be, if you really approach something very, very seriously and you put your all into it, like, there's no way that you'll be denied. There's only thing that comes out of it is greatness.
Right.
And I just think that him passing, we understood that, and it sucks. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things that suck. Somebody so great
and that's
leave so soon.
And that's why I think his impact was so important because not only his rise to coming up, but like you said, the prominent roles he played, like boom, 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 like this
one after another.
one after another. And then secondly, to understand that to find out he's been diagnosed with stage 3 cancer since 2016, all up to this point. So at that point, even in his darkest time in his life that he was fighting for his life, he was still providing so much energy and light, so much positivity, and so much hope for people all over the world. So it's like, as everything was going on, I was starting to see him as it got later, and he got diagnosed with stage 4 in the past year. And it's like, I was seeing him smaller. I wasn't like a lot of people saying they were trolling him about his weight loss and all that. Yeah. But I was just saying like, oh, maybe he about to do something like transcendent.
And that's what I was thinking.
So I'm like, he's losing hella weight because he about to do something dope. Because like you said, he's hella serious about his craft.
He's supremely
so he's so focused on what he's doing that I didn't even think that he was actually suffering and going through something. So, man, sometimes like you said, man, people will smile in your face, man, and be going through like the worst pain in their life. So you never know people's situations. So make sure you're greeting them with kindness and grace because you just never know.
Right.
You just never know.
And the fact that he even did all of that while after being diagnosed adds just to his legend. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
100%. 100%. And that's for us to go into that is this is a big thing about us. Like you said, we didn't know that. And for a lot of us, Black men in the way we grow up, it's taboo, like to go get therapy,
right?
To go to the doctor on weekly, monthly checkups. It's taboo to us. It's not something that we're used to doing. We're just like, we'd be all right, rub some dirt on it, right? I'll go to sleep.
Yeah,
let me get a ginger ale. You feel me? My stomach hurt. You feel me?
Yeah,
that's what we own. Instead of really be like, hey, like go to the doctor.
Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. We don't take those steps as men. And I think people as a whole don't take that step, period. They don't take that step. But I know as a Black man, we don't. We put it off. We like, oh, we can do it tomorrow. Oh, because we don't feel like we can afford to have that, you feel me, that weakness, or we can't afford to have that.
Well, it's looked at as a sign of weakness to kind of even express that something might be wrong,
but that's coming
crazy.
But that's coming from another person's perspective who also is thinking of the same thing. You're thinking it's a weakness as well. So it's like we're judging each other off of things that we truly feel and not being honest and genuine. And when we're feeling these situations, like it for forever, we can feel that I love you, Zaire, but how many times have you actually physically heard me say it to you? It's like I can say like, I love him. Like, I didn't get to tell him why he was here. Why not?
Right.
Why not?
You should be able to express whatever it is.
We don't. And it's our makeup, it's our genetic makeup, the way we're raised, the way we're, structured, the way we're built up. And that's unfair because now we're losing people. And we're like so regretful that we didn't tell them how much we love them while we was here because maybe if fellas feel like weird or soft or whatever, like you just don't know. You felt like uneasy about it, and it's like,
well, society is I obviously like, okay, if we're really gonna bring it down to a word, the word that in the true sense is toxic masculinity.
Yes.
We have this idea of being masculine, and part of being masculine is to not express certain things,
right?
Either whether it's amongst us men or if it's something going on with us, we're just supposed to just keep chugging. We're just supposed to keep pushing through. We're supposed to always be constant, always supposed to be the rock. We're always supposed to be working. And so none of it is normalized. Like men, we don't normalize affection in society as we should. I think because like homophobic shit that's gay, or you know what I'm saying, and
which is very ignorant,
which is extremely ignorant, and I think it puts a lot more on us mentally. I think it puts actually more strain on us when we hold so much inside.
I agree, and it's reflected, and it's based off of everyone. It's just not just men to men, it's woman to man. It's like if you try to show a lot more affection to a woman, she can be like, hold on, like, I don't want no soft man, I don't want no sensitive man. It's like, whoa, like, so then if you're getting taught that from a man to a man, an early age, and then from a woman to a man, then when you have a daughter, you're not going to know how to show her affection.
Yeah.
You're not going to know how to love on her like she needs to. So then when she then the cycle
repeats,
still repeats.
'cause she's
So
not
then
gonna
she's
know
not
what-
going to know how to accept love from a man or how to love a man.
Yeah.
Because then she's calling him out. She calling him this, you soft, you this, you that. And it's like,
because it's based on what she
yes,
knows.
it's
a
been
man to
embedded
be.
in her at
Yeah.
a young age.
Yeah.
It's been embedded in him at a young
Yeah.
age. So it's like, this is where this is stuff we're constantly dealing with, because we never do that with in our Black community with normalizing affection. We just never do that.
Yeah.
It's like to this day, it's so many people to this day that have a Black mom or a Black dad, and they can't remember truly them telling them they love them.
Yeah.
Or just giving them a hug. Like, I didn't deal with that. Like, my mom gave me love all the time. She always gave me love and hugs and stuff. So that wasn't my issue. So I can share that easily.
But there are a lot of
but
others
there are
who
so many
didn't
communities.
get that.
Yes. And that is huge, man. Like, that's a whole nother, ball game.
that's a whole
We
nother
can
ball
we can
game.
talk a whole podcast about that,
Yeah.
because that's how real it is out here. And there's
Yeah.
people walking around every day like that don't feel love
Yeah.
from the people who birthed them.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, man. So it makes it very hard. If you don't feel like somebody cares about you in a certain way, it makes it hard for you to care about yourself in the way that you should.
Yeah.
So when we have these mental breaks or we have these mental illnesses, like, we don't want to acknowledge them. We want to like hide them or avoid them, because it's a
Yeah.
weakness, like you said. It's
Mhm.
it's something that we feel vulnerable.
Perceived
Yes,
weakness.
perceived weakness.
Right. Like,
it's not an
we're
actual
thinking
weakness.
about what others are, how others might see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I actually tell myself all the time that vulnerability is strength, it's power. If you acknowledge it, and if
Yeah.
you actually what's the word I'm looking for? If you actually like basically embrace it, embrace that vulnerability.
Yeah.
Be able to tell somebody this makes you feel this way. Like, my father alone, like, when he feels some type of way, he deflects. So when he's feeling sadness, you see anger. Rather than when you want to feel love, you want to do something else. So it's like, it's a deflection, because we're so out of whack that we don't even know how to show our true emotions when we feel them.
Yeah.
When you feel like when you're disappointed, show your disappointment. Don't turn into envy or evil, where you got to go do something hella like, to get back at somebody,
Right.
do something meticulous or with some malice. Like, just be like, hey, you know what? That action you just did yesterday, that really hurt me. That really made me feel some type of way.
And acknowledge how you feel.
Right.
And validate your own feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and we got to be around the same people that's going to be able to also accept that too. You can't be saying, hey, Zari, you made me feel some type of way yesterday. Well, nigga, stop being soft then. You feel me? Like, whoa. I'm soft now. Because I told you you made me feel some type of way. But that's how it is, man.
Right.
It's like, we dance around it so much that we don't understand the stigma that we're dealing with every single day. And it's affecting so many people that they can't be themselves.
Yeah.
So if you do have a gay family member, homosexual family member, they can't feel the need to tell you, because we ain't like that in this house.
Right.
Like, what you mean you ain't like what?
Right.
He's a human being.
Right.
He has a different preference than you, but he still is your son, or he still is your brother or your nephew.
Right.
But that's how it is, unfortunately.
I think, it just comes down to, we got to take care of ourselves, mentally and physically.
Have to.
Especially as men,
Especially right now
as
with
Black
this
men.
quarantine.
I think it's just too many of us are suffering silently to things that we don't have to, and we shouldn't. If you're going through anything, you should be able to express that. If you're really dealing with serious things, you should be able to express that too and get some help.
Yep.
And just be on top of it, and because the idea is always just self-improvement. It's always about evolution. It's always about progression.
1000%.
Take care of yourself and value yourself, and be good to yourself. That way you can be good to others.
Yeah. Because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
And that's why on airplanes, they suggest you put your mask on before you put somebody else's mask on, because you can't help somebody else if you can't help yourself. So we need to make sure we definitely prioritize ourselves and understand that you need to make sure it's not about, somebody else telling you how you're making them feel and this and this and that. Understand how you feel in the situation, and then you can actually probably reciprocate the emotions that you want to reciprocate to them in regards to whatever the case may be.
Family too. Because,
Yes.
As a father, it's very, very easy to just put your children ahead of you, put your wife ahead of you, put
1000%.
whatever you put
But
your job ahead of you.
your
You know,
happiness counts, and that's why it's big too. That's a huge thing, even in relationships. That we're always hearing happy life, happy wife, happy life, and it's like, nah, happy spouse, happy house. Like
yeah,
I matter too, so you
yeah,
need to make sure that my value is there as well, and I'm getting treated with that too, because we do as men put a lot on our table and a lot on our plate that we can just say we can just handle the brunt of it. But we have a lot of inside mental battles with ourselves constantly
right,
because we're trying
all
to
the time.
please everybody else.
Yeah,
You know, so and also women do that as well. They're always trying to please everybody else. They're trying to please their man. They're trying to please their kids.
hmm,
Then they forget about themselves. So it's not like it's a sexual thing or a gender thing. It's just a human thing. We need to make sure we work on ourselves inside and then out, not outside in.
right. So, Biden and Harris, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris are. I don't think we've really touched this on this aspect of politics yet. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are running mates in this election coming up in November. And I think the question for me really is just like what is your scope? Like, how do you view Biden and Harris? Do you feel like they're a possibly good pick to run the country? Do you feel like the combination of those two might put things in the right direction? Where's your head at when you think of Biden and Harris?
Me personally, obviously, for the last 8 years, I feel like Joe Biden has definitely been in good graces with a lot of people just because people can say, well, I can vote for Joe Biden. I can see him being for the people because he's worked under Obama for the last, or worked with Obama for the last 8 years.
Yeah,
So a lot of people are giving him that vote of confidence right there because, okay, man, maybe he'll be able to do a lot more for our, people in our country that look like us, black, African Americans, or whatever you want to call us. Maybe he could do more for our people because he worked with an African American president. So maybe he has a better understanding now after 8 years. There's definitely things in his past that people can argue that, oh, he's
right.
not this, he's that, he created this bill, he was on this, whatever it can be. There's past to everything. But I guess we don't want to focus too much on the past because we want to make sure that we focus on the future of what he can provide going forward, that he learned from his mistakes from the past in the last 8 years of working with Obama. And then obviously, Kamala Harris being an African American woman, obviously she'll get my vote of confidence for that, to see a woman like who my daughter can ultimately look up to be like, meaning hold that prestigious position of a vice president. So
Yeah.
obviously, in that regard, as a black man, I'm cheering for her. But obviously, she also has some stuff in her background where people don't necessarily agree with her.
Or trust, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
because
yeah.
she has some harsh punishments where she held her position as a prosecutor and DA. So that makes it very hard. That people, I can see people's points on why they're not jumping at the fence to want to, endorse those two.
Right.
But what we can all agree on, at least going forward, that they're not Trump,
Mm.
because they at least have political backgrounds. They don't spill out hate and create division amongst Americans, not blacks, not whites, but Americans, because we
Yeah.
all live in the same place. So that's my biggest thing. So honestly, anybody that's going to actually respect that what was it? The POTUS,
Yeah.
respect that position.
Yeah.
Anybody's going to respect that position and understand what that means. Not all, if I can help these corporations with this money and this corporation with that money. Understand what that top position of leadership means and how much of a symbol you are to American people and how much your words mean something and how much your stance means something when it comes out of your mouth. It means a lot. It holds a lot of weight.
Right.
So I think that's the biggest thing that he does not understand. Trump, I am talking about. I think in the last couple of years, the last 8 years of Biden working under Obama, he realized the message of hope,
Yeah.
the message of love and compassion that Obama spread it. People can argue that he even wasn't the best president politics wise, but
Right.
you can't argue that he was up there and he did not preach hope and togetherness and love. And that's right now in these times of the world we're in, we need that more than ever. So I'll back their play going forward because I would like to see somebody else not be in the White House that spills out hate. So they'll get kind of like a default. They'll get my vote by default. You know, so that's really where I'm at right there. Because last year,
is it like the lesser of two evils?
To me, it is.
Thing?
To me, it is. But then again, I don't know enough of their bills or policies or politics to really argue, you know, semantics and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say that I see what he's been doing, and I don't like what he's doing, and we need something different.
Yeah.
So, and that's basically where my stance is with that. We just need something different, and it doesn't have to be them, but it can't be him.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where I'm at for the most part. Part of me does feel though sometimes that the criticism of Kamala Harris and even Joe Biden to a certain extent is more so to cause division.
Right.
I do know that there are things that are in their past, even Kamala, which is as more recent because she was just Attorney General of the state. Not before she was a senator, not too long ago. I remember Obama like had given a speech before she, you know, at the time she was appointed and all of that. And so it's definitely this is going to be, if they're elected, this is going to be a part of Obama's legacy per se. These are two people that he have been in the same room and have, you know what I'm saying, have been close to, have positioned themselves close to him.
Right.
And so with that said, them having that responsibility, I think that that's something that's important to look at in that way. And I think that actually might be something that actually might help not just them, but also help just the American people. I think, I mean, there's all like this whole Trump thing is mainly a backlash for Obama, and that can backfire. But
it definitely has backfired.
It's backfired thus far. And the Biden thing, and then there's all the molestation allegations and, you know, that stuff. So, you know, that's neither here nor there for me because, I mean, we already have somebody in office who has allegations. So that I can't really look at and say, oh, yeah, like moral compass, I'm picking this one over that based on that. And I can't do that.
I can't do that.
What I can is just like you said, though, these are people who have checkered past because not all that Kamala Harris did as Attorney General of either San Francisco or California was bad. There are certain things that have benefited people as well. And so you kind of have to weigh it yourself, the pros and the cons, and, you know, go from there.
Yep.
As far as it being like the lesser of two evils, only thing that I would have to ask people in general when they say stuff like that, and for me, just an honest question. When have Black people ever had to not choose between the lesser of two evils?
Yeah.
In an election, until there's actual real equality in America, we're always voting for the lesser evil. Like, you know what I mean? And so,
Jim.
And so,
see, this is where I'm need sound effects right now. When you hear some coins drop real quick, them gems. You feel me?
Right.
Hey,
even Obama was the only time where it was the lesser evil, but also the reason why we were voting wasn't because of the evil part of it. It was just because, we finally actually have somebody that looks like us, thinks like us, comes from a similar background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but if you look at 99.9 of the rest of the presidents, that hasn't been the case.
Yeah. What Trump is the 45th president?
Yes.
Obama was the 44th president.
Yes.
So that's 40. Yeah. You
43 other presidents. 43 other that presidents. We had to just hope they might help Black people, hope they might care about police brutality, hope they care about people getting lynched, hope they care about they Black veterans who come back and still face persecution. So to me, this is just another election, really.
Yeah, so it's like if we, out of every other election, if we had a Black candidate in there and they were actually in the White House, then we can at least judge and say, hey, this is our best Black president, or this is our best president. We don't have to necessarily got to put a race on it, but being that we only have one Black president, we only have one to judge.
Right.
You know, so it's like, it's one of those situations where you're right. And I talked to one of my old ex coaches that I used to work with at Antioch High School, and he stated that he said, I want to get to a point. He's like, we're gonna always be indifferent because I don't believe we should ever be to a point where we even calling each other Black American, Mexican American, Chinese American. We're just Americans. The moment when we throw away the actual label at the beginning of Americans is the moment we'll have the equality we want in this world. And I was like, I agree with you, but you still can't escape the fact that that's what people are seeing and that's what people are labeling you and judging you off of.
Right. Even like, and I think that sort of thinking can be dangerous in that sense because amongst myself or around people close to me, I can take my label of being Black away. Once I venture outside of that, I can't control what I'm being labeled as or how I'm being treated 100%. By someone on the outside.
So a lot of people are going to vote for Harris because she's a Black woman.
And I mean, from my experience, I've been like, as far as trustworthiness and yada yada, it's really been Black women. Yeah, I'm not saying Kamala Harris is trustworthy because there's a lot of shit that's out and of reasons why she shouldn't be trusted or trustworthy. But there's also,
like I said, playing devil's advocate in that. You know, in life you have to sometimes get along to move along.
Right.
You know, so there's been situations probably she got put in with a primarily white overseeing cast where she had to kind of let shit slide or agree with this or
the
give
system,
this. Like, she had to go along with the system.
Just because you come in the system doesn't mean that you can change it. The criminal system was what it was before Kamala. They were locking Black people up, brown people up before she had that position, and they're still doing so. So I think that's also something to take a look at or just to acknowledge. Joe Biden, in the same sense, the crime bill, there was Black senators at the time in the 90s who also signed on for that crime bill. These are Black representatives. And so that also can't be swept under the rug.
Yeah, but you know, we can say that people, that's some real cool activity, but you can also say that what were they going to do?
Well, it was that and the time. We don't understand. We were babies. Yeah. So the context and all of that stuff is lost. All we know is that super predators and you know, the crime bill and a lot of people getting locked up. So yeah, I don't know. Like, to be honest, there is still confusion in that sense, because if you're weighing the past and you're, you know, trying to go forward, etc., you look at the past and like, damn, this is fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
However, I don't know. We've been trying to get this administration currently to do something about police brutality, to do something about all of these inequities that we face from day to day in general, just as people of color.
Yeah.
And it just feels like we're not heard. At least I feel like Biden and Harris will at least have an audience, will at least have maybe an opportunity to actually really be listened to, heard, considered, and actual things that can be implemented.
And shout out to also the past week or so, there was a win in our community. I don't know if you guys are aware, but the shooting that happened in San Leandro Walmart with the young Black man who was shot by the cops. The cop who shot him was charged with manslaughter.
Okay.
So there is some charges.
So
on
manslaughter,
him.
not murder per se.
Not murder per se.
Okay.
No, but he was charged with manslaughter. So that's, I mean, you know, it's fucked up to say.
Right.
Gotta take our wins when we can get them. But and that's the crazy thing about it. I'm saying that's for most of you guys that are listening, you're not African American. You fully will never understand, you know, the certain, you know, the shit we got to eat, you know, and they just call it caviar. We just got to keep eating it until the point where we just say enough is enough. Then we say enough is enough. You guys don't have to loot. You guys don't have to riot. First off, I never looted or rioted a day in my life. But at some point, it's going to say enough is a fucking enough. And I'm going to.
And there's nothing you can do.
Nothing. And there's nothing you can say that's going to say you're doing too much. Really?
If every other option is exhausted.
Right.
If you leave people no other choice but to act out violently, and then who's really at fault?
Yeah, because this has been talked about for a long time. And Tupac, ahead of his time, you know, rest in peace. He's been saying this for years.
Yeah.
He's been saying this for years. So a lot of the times where he was talking his music, you guys were trying to make him an enemy, but all he was doing is giving knowledge. Anybody that tried to give us knowledge or a warning, they're no longer here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no coincidence.
Yeah. And it's just like you said before. You said we got to take our wins when we get them.
Yep.
That to me an example of if we have to choose between an officer going away and not getting any charges,
Right.
and him not getting murder but maybe manslaughter,
Right.
that, my friends, is choosing the lesser of two evils.
Yes, it is, and it's very unfortunate. But thank you.
These are the decisions.
Way to bring it
always had
full
to
circle,
make.
Z. Way to bring it full
That's
circle.
it.
So that was a good example, if you guys know what we were talking about. But yes, way to bring it full circle. Into some lighter news. Once again, the black man is being taken to court. Dr. Dre's ex-wife wants $2 million a month for what? Spousal support, child support. Like, you want $2 million?
Me too. And I wasn't married to Dr. Dre. I ain't have his kids. I want $2 million from him.
God damn.
You know what I'm
But like, damn, you ain't make a beat. Like Tia say, you ain't bang a tambourine, nothing. You want $2 million?
$2 million a month is
my whole
ridiculous.
thing is to women out there. I do believe
that's $24 million a year.
I do believe in inspirational. I believe in your woman being the backbone. I believe in all of that. But if she was all of that, then let Dre decide what she needs to get. If she doesn't, karma and the universe is gonna work in her favor anyway. But for you, for all them years you being married to Dr. Dre, being around such a big genius mind in music, what have you created for your damn self? Why do you need $2 million of spousal support from a man that you're no longer going to be around with or you're going to be with? Why does he have to pay you $2 million? Do you not have enough money over the time y'all been married that you created for yourself? Because we see what he created. He was Dr. Dre way before y'all ever got married.
Yeah.
He was the original founder and member of NWA. Right. So his shit was already sketched.
He was already a legend at that.
So you can't say that, well, for women out there, well, she was with him for this amount of years and she supported him and she backed him and she supported what?
That's not
the man he was, but when he met her?
Is the love and support worth you having not necessarily done anything to, I don't know, build that fortune in that sense? Like, you've assisted in him having peace of mind, yes.
Peace of mind is huge. Let's get that straight. Peace of mind is huge, especially from a woman.
But I just feel like, and I'm not saying no spousal support at all. I just think $2 million is just not even a bit excessive. That's crazy. To me, it just sounds ridiculous.
We not, bro. She said $2 million a month,
and it's people living off of less than $100,000 a year to feeding their families.
And I don't want to hear shit about I'm keeping up expenses. I live in this amount of house. Okay, if you don't have a husband that makes whatever amount of money a year, then your ass needs to make sure you downgrade if it's going to be based off of your income, not the income that he's giving you.
So what figure you feel like would be reasonable?
Bro, that's a very unfair question to ask me. But monthly, if he has to pay her anything with expenses, bro, maybe, I don't know, 500,000, 200,000, 250 a month. We're talking about a month, bro.
Yeah, it's a month.
But
yeah,
look, that is generous. What, he gonna give her 50,000 a month?
That's still.
She's been his wife for 8 years, so but he makes a certain amount of money, so they have to break down that percentage. But $2 million a month is just too much.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Her damn lips, her lips and her mouth should have got chapped and dry when she asked for that shit, because she knew she was doing too much.
Hey, Drake can pay me $20,000 a month, and we good.
I'm just saying, like,
you know what I'm saying?
The judge has to definitely consider, bro, supporting her. Yeah, maybe 100,000 a month, bro. But and you want this every month? I gotta give you $2 million every month.
A month. That's
you wilding out.
That sound like
you wilding out. Maybe how you know he even? Well, he is bringing in, but how you know he bringing in that amount of money? You watching records and shit, but you don't know. You ain't living with him no more. You don't know shit.
$100,000.
Man,
I'm just saying, I was being gracious. You feel me? Because he make bread. They've been together. They got some time in, but you doing too much. $2 million. You shouldn't be in. You shouldn't even be in no meal talking about monthly. Is he giving you now? If he was for the next, like, say they was married for 8 years, and then for the first 8 years they were divorced, you get $1 million a year.
Okay.
That's realistic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you $1 million a year since from us being divorced.
Okay, but
for
to
eight
be fair,
for the amount of time that we was married. So
to
for
be
8 years,
fair-
I'm giving you $1 million a year. So for the next 8 years, you'll have $1 million. So total, you'll have $8 million total. Then I'm done with your ass. When do it stop?
To be fair, they said that this is a limited. I don't know. I think it was requested to be a certain amount of time of getting $2 million.
That's what I'm saying. How long you supposed to pay a motherfucker
But
some
I don't
spousal
know. I don't know
support?
how long it was actually requested.
That's
But I
wild.
do know it was a limited.
Somebody need to call into the show. We ain't got a phone line yet. But somebody need to text us or DM us and let us know how this shit works. Because how long is he supposed to provide spousal support? Until she die? Till he die? Until he broke?
Yeah.
What the fuck? So he been giving her $2 million and he died in the next 5 years or whatever. So nigga, and he get broke in his last year of life. Is she gonna give his ass spousal support? Cause he ain't got the money no more?
Probably not.
Shit backwards, bro.
You alright, bro?
Bro, that shit backwards, bro. We always getting treated shady, bro. It's cold. It's cold, man. It's some women out there getting played like Britney Spears and shit like that. But you feel me? Mary J. Blige getting played. You feel me? But it's
very far in between. Usually.
I'm all for it. The damn. I think Chris Brown baby mama was asking for some crazy amount of money. Like, what you doing, Lo?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's out for me, bro. So that's what I'm saying. I don't have nothing right now, but if I got married tomorrow and I would say I would sign a prenup with my partner. Let them decide to give me what they think I deserve, bro. Because I'm not going in thinking I deserve shit. I'm gonna earn everything I get. So you're already going with the wrong mindset. Like, oh, okay, I'm going in this to forever hold each other, and then if it don't work out, I'm getting this money. Nah. So it's like, even if I have
the motivation
like,
is just,
I got a business right now that I'm building that ain't really, we're building. We're in the beginning stages, but prenup it up. You ain't getting my damn business that I didn't worked and earned, and we ain't doing that. That's out. Now, if you gave me some ideas and that idea grossed me another 50 million, shit, then we can say yo settlement is 50 million because your idea grossed me that.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm a wrap it up on this. I think it's important that we're not saying is that there should be no support at all.
Definitely should be some support.
Yeah, but I think any good person, man, woman, if you have a lot of, I think if you, especially if you have that much money, you do have a financial responsibility in a sense if you divorce for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be definitely not no damn $2 million a month. You don't need $2 million a month to maintain or just to live. You know what I'm saying? Without me, no, you don't. Like I think that says something about privilege. Like it should be a privilege that we're together and we have this much money to spend in this certain amount of time.
Yeah. So
once we're not together, that privilege shouldn't still be there.
Yeah, that's backwards, bro.
Yeah, and so
man or woman, exactly.
If I just divorced Rihanna,
I know I'm about to get them M's, boy, and I'm about to be able to sit on the couch and eat Fruit Loops every day of my life.
But I'm also gonna be of the understanding that, like, whatever the benefits were when I was with her, are not going to be the same. Or
it can't be. That's not realistic, and that's what I'm saying. So that's why not just women but men, like you can't expect that shit, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, I can go on this shit forever. I'm gonna let this shit go. This is actually supposed to be a quick topic, but shit pisses me off.
He got fired up.
All right, man. We're gonna end this, man, with a little bit of recap of one of the better verses, if not, number 1A, 1B, whatever, however you want to look at it. But we're gonna talk about the recap because we didn't get to talk about it last week. But of Brandy and Monica in the classic battle they had, and me talking to Tia about, when we were younger, they were kind of pit against each other, and then the song made it a thing as well too. The Boys Minds, they went at each other like a duet back and forth. It was a battle. And Tia was discussing that she still felt that she can see still some animosity. There was still like some unspoken words, or there was really a situation where they didn't look like they was cool. They could respect each other as artists and about their voices and all that, but they don't look like they just hanging out having play dates with their kids Monica, like she still, feel me, from the project, still go visit her nana on 64th. You know, get some, you know, pick up a plate of food. Brandon, like she doing, you know, holistic retreats, and she don't want nobody to, you feel me, to walk into the room for 2-3 days. So it just their auras together are just different. It's special because they're two very beautiful, special, talented voices, but their aura is just, they're just from two different sides of the track.
I think it was something to do with just that they haven't seen each other
in a while, like 8 years or something.
Yeah,
she said.
And I think it might have something to do with that too. That they probably just need more time to gel.
Damn, I say 8 years. How many years you need?
Well, I mean, if
I don't think it's never gonna gel.
If it's somebody you've been feuding with, or you had beef with at some point and you haven't spoke to them in 8 years, yeah, I can see that first initial, like you being in the same space, being somewhat like awkward in a sense. So
but you've been living your life as a grown woman for the last 8 years, bro. So even if I like, you had to hate or really like,
I think there was really some
loathe the person.
I think it could have really been on like some real R&B, Tupac, Biggie level had it been more public.
Yeah, but I think, like you said, I think that was more so the outside doing that than actual them.
Yeah.
And, they got pinned against each other at a young age.
Yeah. You know? They were kids.
And then there was some moments where they probably was like, "Oh yeah, just do think she better than me." And, you know, then there was probably some moments like that where it's competitive, like that validated people's thoughts or whatever.
That part was obvious, but it was enjoyable. It wasn't enjoyable versus. It was cool seeing them in the same space.
Yeah.
Because it's something we wanted to see for a minute.
Man.
And just, you know, we can kind of just celebrate their music.
Yeah, that was a very throwback, nostalgic moment just to this vibe. I wish that's all I'm saying about the singers. I wish if you coming on there to do the verses, don't sing every song, but like get up there and sing a little bit.
Yeah, give us
you
something.
Feel me? Like
Monica wasn't
trying to do nothing. You feel me? Monica was like, you feel me? I'm trying to preserve this shit. I just dropped a couple new songs. She was just chilling, just trying to be cool. She didn't want to make it into another, like, you feel me, basically dick measuring contest. Yeah. She didn't want to start letting loose with her vocals and Brandy let loose with her vocals because they both sound like they was a little like hoarse, like they really already been using their voice in the studio. So I don't know what it was, but be that as it may, whatever the case may be, it was a great versus. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I've been still rocking a little cheat list on the versus playlist, and they had some hits, man, and I'm glad we was able to come together, and then they were able to end it on A Boy Is Mine, a very iconic classic song. So shout out to the queens of R&B, man. We needed that. We appreciate that. Yeah,
I mean I think the quality of the battle was up there with Snoop like Dogg, probably not better than Snoop DMX, but I feel like the spectacle of it,
because they was probably out there still rocking.
Yeah,
even though DMX out of breath and all that shit, he was still going, bro. So man, either way, it was a treat, man. I really appreciate it. I was tuned in for sure.
Yeah. So that's all for today, y'all. Much to Do About Everything podcast episode 7 is a wrap. Follow Will to Win on Instagram. Yep. Follow Much to Do About Everything podcast on Instagram as well. Follow Possible Beats, and get at us. We know you guys got input on some of the things we've been talking about.
Oh yeah. Before we leave, Z, who you interviewing tomorrow for the community spotlight?
Cameron G. Williams. He's doing some big things right now, and so I'm gonna have him on.
What time y'all gonna do it? You guys won't hear this. You guys won't hear this in time, but we'll post on the page just so you guys know. And you guys can always go back and review it because it'll be on our IG.
And always keep a lookout on our community spotlights. We're going to drop those every Thursday of the week.
Yeah.
We want to just feature different people out in the community that look like us, that come from our same backgrounds, that even may not look like us, but are just doing dope things out here. And we want to be able to showcase that.
Yep.
And, just give people they light.
All right. God is love. Love is God, man. Until next time.
Bada bing, bada boom.